Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Angel, here at Wrestle Sponge, here for our first ever Wrestlemania review. We did the predictions, and it was a rocky weekend with ups and downs, but we got there, and I had a lot of fun with this. It's WrestleMania. This is our Christmas. This is our Super Bowl. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, it's always exciting. Big event for wrestling all around the world and in Las Vegas around WrestleMania with all the indie wrestling, the WrestleCon, Hall of Fame, etc., stuff like that. It's always great weekend for wrestling, which is always fun. But I want to talk about night one. Night one and night two are opposites. Night one, we'll get to the main event, but had the greater main event. Night two had the worst main event. Night one had the weak mid-card matches. Night two had the better mid-card matches. This was all but fun. But they opened it up with Jey Uso versus Gunther, which, in my opinion, we've seen it twice already. And I went in this with the expectation of, Jay's going to win and go over. But if it wasn't as good as it should have been. I'm not very a fan of Jey Uso. I wanted Gunther to win, retain. Just having Jay win was just, to me, it's goofy. Just because he got yeet over and he just, I don't really want to see a long Jey Uso title reign. I'm not being negative towards him at all. Just, super kick, frog splash, and then doing Gunther's chokehold really weakly. And he got tapped out in under 3 seconds. Was just very odd. And the pop was not that big for him. And I was just like, no. Didn't want to see this at all. I'd rather have Gunther just squash Jay. Not in a squash match, but because they built it up to be such a brutal match, and he brutalized Jimmy on Raw. And this match was not brutal at all. We did not see a fierce Gunther, and Jey Uso's really weak in the ring. So, we didn't see what we've been getting built the last couple of weeks. So, there's that. But Gunther took a loss, so there's one out of my book. I had my money on Gunther, but he took an L for there. So following that, before we get there, the crowd, let's talk about the crowd. The crowd was just brutal here. After that, the crowd was just so bad. Up next was the tag team championship match between the War Raiders and New Day. I wanted War Raiders to retain. This match was a lot of fun, I will tell you this. I wanted the War Raiders to retain. The New Day do deserve the tag team titles. They worked their butt off with these new heel gimmicks and stuff, and they reworked themselves, which I do love. I mean, they got the win, but this match was a lot of fun. I liked a lot of spots they did. Ivar almost died, by the way. He did a crazy moonsault, but slipped on the ropes as he went up, and almost broke his neck on live television, but it thankfully landed, and hopefully he's okay. I don't know what they want to go with after the New Day with new tag team titles. They won. Kofi held the legs of... Fuck, I forgot his name. I think Ivar might have taken the pin, but I could be wrong. And that's how they won. The referee didn't see it, and they ran up that ramp with them tag team title belts. And, yeah, new tag team champions. After this, it was a long feud between Jade Cargill and Naomi. This match was okay. It did its purpose. You knew Jade was going over. She's going to get dominance over Naomi in her revenge. But, I don't know. This felt like a SmackDown match. Could have been resolved a long time ago. I love Jade Cargill. But there was nothing really memorable for me. But I'm just glad Jade Cargill went over and they were able to put her and showcase her off on a huge event like WrestleMania. So, there's that. That's all I have to say for that match. And up next was the United States Championship match. This is where it picked up for night one, alright? Night one was boring so far. But then this match happened on. And my boy, I love LA Knight and I love Jacob Fatu, and I was fine with whoever wins. I didn't select a specific winner, but this match was good either way or not. Fatu is just amazing in the ring, and LA Knight is just as great as... They are both great, all right? Let me just say that. My favorite moment of this match was the damn reversal into the BFT, the moonsault BFT from to Jacob Fatu. And I'm surprised it did not end the match. I don't know how it didn't end the match, but they got to use that later on. But that should have been a fucking match ender right there. But, man, that was so much fun. Jacob Fatu makes the moonsaults look like easy peasy stuff. And so, yeah. That's a lot of fun from them. LA Knight took the L. Fatu got his first world championship, and I think it was his family member that went to the ring to celebrate with him, and that was a lot of fun. I am surprised that no Solo Sikoa interference. I will say, that was a big surprise that we did not get Solo Sikoa interference. So, that was a lot of fun. Up next was Rey Fenix versus El Grande Americano. It was supposed to be Rey Mysterio, but he got hurt the previous night during a SmackDown match, which I'm not going to say it's good that he got hurt. I'm glad that Rey Fenix was able to get showcased on a huge stage alongside like Jade Cargill. I'm just disappointed that he took a loss on his third match, which was very dumb. And I'm not fondly of this stupid Chad Gable gimmick. It's not funny. I think it's just, I don't know, stepping the lines of cultural stuff. It's just, it's not, I don't know. It's not funny. To me, it's just dumb. The stupid faceplate gimmick was okay, but then Rey Fenix was selling it like he broke his whole leg, and then he put the entire, put the wrong leg on the fucking angle lock. I don't know if you guys witnessed that, but that was a bit goofy. But yeah, Americano got the win, and that was that. And up next is one of the stiff matches. It was Tiffany, Charlotte for the women's world title. I love Tiffany's entrance with the Barbie doll stuff. That was pretty cool. The pyro, man. Charlotte gets pyro, but in general for the whole show, the pyro was weak because of the lack of the fans in the stage, and I was not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of them having the fans in the stage. That was not fun because you lose pyro because of restrictions. So, Mania. I know Mania for its pyro and its showcase of stage. It was a fire stage. Just whatever. Tiffany vs. Charlotte was fun to watch, but Charlotte was really sandbagging Tiffany, and they got brutal in there. They got stiff. Like Tiffany had a chipped tooth and bruised up face and everything. And I don't know what it is with Charlotte. Charlotte needs to go away for a long time, maybe retrain or just retire or just put other people over. Go down to NXT and lose to some people, put some people over and showcase them. Because Charlotte's a good wrestler. I'm not a fan of Charlotte, but she is a good wrestler. But Tiffany is also an amazing wrestler and athlete who absolutely deserved this victory, and I'm glad she went over. Her moonsaults are amazing, way better than Charlotte's moonsaults, I can tell you that. And Charlotte needs to go away. I don't know. They better not have another match. I don't think I want to see this rivalry go on forward after this. But yeah, that was that. And for the main event, they did the Hall of Fame thing. Triple H came out, and that was that. And then we got the main event. Punk, Seth, and Roman. A match full of emotions. A match full of emotions left and right, because Roman believes Paul turned on him. And also, Punk had that favor, coming out by his side. Seth makes his entrance, Roman makes his entrance, and Punk comes out with the Fireburns tribute video package and building him all and how it's his Mania and this is his main event, and with the live living color performance, which is amazing. One of the greatest entrances in WrestleMania history. And it was a lot of fun. And the sequences in this match were fire. The GTS, the spear, Jesus Christ, the frequencies in here were amazing, and including the table spots were brutal. Seth trying to get Roman to get back in the Shield, and Roman says, fuck no. And then we get towards the end, and it's Punk and Roman getting up, and Paul Heyman's getting a chair. He slides the chair to what you think is Roman. He slides it to CM Punk, but then as he's going to hit Roman, he low blows him, and Roman's all excited, and, then he hits Punk with the chair, puts him out, and then he's all more excited, and Paul is getting behind Roman, and he low blows Roman Reigns, and, wiggles him up a little bit down there, drops the chair, grabs the chair, and gives it to Seth Rollins. I saw this coming from a mile away, in my view. This was super obvious and expected, but it's interesting, and you can have an interesting see on this tonight on Raw. And yeah, Paul Heyman turned on both Punk and Reigns, and Seth hits Roman with a chair, gets the victory, and Seth and Paul walk away from WrestleMania as the Night 1 main event winners. It was a lot to intake there. It was a lot. That match was really phenomenal. I'm not even lying. It was great from all three men. And yeah, we'll see what happens, what Paul Heyman has to say or what Seth Rollins has to say and how this all works out. I know he was on the Pat McAfee show, but there's that. Let me know what you guys thought about night one, you know? Did you guys like night one over night two? Did you guys like the main events or what did you guys think? But that's when we move on to night two. Night two had a better opener. It was the women's version of the belt of the men's, the women's world heavyweight championship, and Io, Bianca, and Rhea. Oh my god, they tore the house down. This is one of my most favorite opening WrestleMania matches ever. And they tore the house down. Like, Io was good, Bianca was good, and Rhea was good. And I'm not a fan of Bianca, but holy shit, these people, the sequences with these women were amazing. Io was on fire. Rhea and Bianca was fun to see get at each other. And at the end, it was Io who was standing tall, you know? Io standing tall. And I pretty much enjoyed that really, really much. I'm glad Io retained. I didn't want to see Rhea win another belt, and I definitely did not want to see Bianca. But Bianca looked like she was a little heely in there, you know? She looked like a heel. Heel facial expressions, heel, you know, it was giving off like something's up there. But I feel like we're going to see a Bianca and Rhea feud come out of here. And I'm excited to see what's next for Io Sky and who her next challenger is going to be. But that needs to die there and end there. And Io got the victory and the big pop, and it was amazing. And following that, it was Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest for nothing. Yeah, it was a Sin City street fight, and it was a lot of fun. There was the steps being used, the fucking tables being used, and the old school getting reversed, and Damian goes through the tables, and he sets up Damian sets up a chair in the turnbuckle, and he ends up eating it. That was a really fun finish, you know. Drew, he puts his head there and claymores his head into the chair, which is a lot of fun. And yeah, that's how that match. I mean, I wish these two were in better positions where they were in, or they ended up being at WrestleMania. But Drew and Priest tore the house down there, and Drew got the victory. And I did enjoy the tweet spot where he said "bored at work, LOL," and that was a lot of fun. So congratulations to Drew. And up next was a great fatal four-way match between Penta, Dom, Finn, and Braun Breaker. And let me tell you guys, this match was a lot of fun. And Braun Breaker is one beast of a machine. I wanted Penta to win this match, delusional-wise. But I knew it was going to be between Finn or Dom. It was either the Judgment Day that was going to go over. And everyone looked good. Braun spearing Carlito from the other table to the other table. Braun spearing Penta midair. Finn Balor, or what's he called? Not Finn Balor. Dominic finally turning on Finn, or kicking him out of the Judgment Day by falsely hitting the 619. He missed it, and Finn was like, what the, tweaking? And they go back and forth, and it ended perfectly. You take Braun out of the equation, and Penta takes out, I might be getting this wrong. It's really late. It's really early. So correct my brain. But I do remember the finish. It was Dominic pinning Penta. I mean, not Penta. Dominic pinning Finn and winning the IC belt. And he got, so far, the loudest pop of the night. Like, the fans were going nuts for his IC title victory. And I think he deserves it. He's been working his ass off. He became a heel. He went from that little kid in 2020 with no damn character, no nothing, into this dominant heel. And now he's the Intercontinental Champion because of it at WrestleMania, which is amazing to see. And after this, it was time for Randy Orton's versus his mystery opponent. As we all know, Kevin Owens is hurt, and I hope he recovers very well. It's Randy Orton versus versus mystery opponent, and everyone's anticipated up. And I'm like, everyone's been saying it's gonna be Rusev or someone coming back from the company who's just re-signing. And no, it was the TNA World Champion Joe Hendry, and I was like, oh shit, that was pretty fun. It's new. We'd never seen Randy Orton versus Joe Hendry before, and it was a good 4-minute match. It solved its purpose. It got the crowd over. Joe Hendry got over. Loud pop for him and everything, and Randy took him out, RKO'd him. Then they celebrated after, and they shook hands. He did his thing, and he RKO'd him after that, and Randy went home happy, and Randy did the Joe Hendry thing of his own, and it was a lot of fun. So yeah, I mean, It solved its purpose. You couldn't really do much with like a one show build, but I saw, yeah, it was fun. But I just wish it did more a little bit. Up next was a pretty boring match between Logan Paul and AJ Styles. I didn't really enjoy this match that much. It was a stinker in my books. It was a stinker between AJ and Logan. This is Logan's worst match ever, in my opinion. And AJ Styles' greatest WrestleMania match is still with Shane McMahon for no reason. I can't remember much of this match. The only good part was when Killer Kross came out and tried to help Styles, and Styles didn't listen, and because he didn't listen, he took the L. But he got a huge pop. Karrion Kross got a huge pop, and they didn't take advantage of that. He also cut a huge dope-ass promo after WrestleMania, which I enjoyed too. So there was that. Logan takes those titles, and I don't think anyone cared. And after that was the co-main event. Liv and Rochelle versus Lyra Valkyrie and a mystery opponent, because they took out Bayley out of the equation, which, to me, I'd be so mad if I'm Bayley. You literally build her up for Mania, and then you have her not be at Mania, and it was just like, wow. And they didn't even show her getting attacked on the day of. It was just like the night before she got attacked, so it was like really goofy. But her surprise opponent, or tag team partner, ended up being Becky Lynch. And that was, to me, was really, really weak and not fun, you know? Like, that was just a bit goofy. I'm not a fan of Becky Lynch. But, I mean, I guess she got the pop, and it was a quote-unquote WrestleMania moment. I mean, just from there, she got in the ring, and the crowd was going nuts, you know? I guess you can say, yeah, I don't know. Lyra doesn't have character or personality. I love her in-ring work. She's amazing, but lack of personality and character. I think this match could have been on, like, a SmackDown or a Raw. You know, save it for later. There could have been a better co-main event. You know, that TLC tag team title match, you know, could have been on here instead of that. But after that, we got one of the worst main events ever in WrestleMania history between Cody versus Cena. And I've been building this match up. That's like, Cena's and Cody going to be good. And, you know, this is going to be fun. And The Rock better show up, or this is all going to be stupid. Oh, boy. This match started, and Cody's entrance was pretty fire. And his mask was amazing. The Jarvis Iron Man-style mask was a whole lot of fun. Cena and Cody came out with no trons, no color, just generic entrance, walked down the ramp. And they had a match that was a stinker. It was slow-paced. Finisher spam. Cody kicked out of every single finish. Ref bump. Travis Scott comes out. That was the worst part of the match. Travis Scott coming out and taking his sweet, sweet time. And it was just not fun. He kicks onto the ring. Ref spot. He fucking crossroads Travis. And then Cena low blows him. And Cody previously took 2 bumps to the turnbuckle, by the way, and they didn't bleed, which was I was like, wow, no blood. Hits him with a title, 1, 2, 3. And that was the noise my living room made of silence, of how bad that ending was. It was really bad. It was not fun. It was terrible. I get if you want to say he wants to ruin wrestling, but that could have been so much better. And the commentary team said that The Rock sent Travis there to take care of his business. That was just so bad. The Rock truly should have just never shown up. They should have saved the heel turn for today. Cody takes out Cena, and then Cena low blows him in front of the bigger crowd. This would have been the spot to do it. It would have been a lot more better than Chamber. You know, he already won the Chamber, you know? Like, you're getting it there. He should turn heel at the WrestleMania, not the fucking Chamber. And it would have been a lot more fun without no Rock or no Travis Scott. The Rock is truly a piece of shit. And if he shows up on Raw tonight, it's going to be even dumber. And I'm going to be more bitter and annoying. So, there's that. Overall, I had fun with Mania. Like I said in the intro, it had ups and downs. Like night 1's mid-card was meh, but night 2's mid-card was amazing. Night 1's main event was amazing. Night 2 main event was not good, but I hope you guys enjoyed WrestleMania. I hope you guys had a fun wrestling weekend. I did enjoy some of it. I'll give this rating of WrestleMania a 4 out of 5, a 4 out of 10. for WrestleMania for me. This is not as good as last year's, and it wasn't going to live up to it, but it was still a lot of fun to watch. But so yeah, if you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, and let me know your guys' opinions on WrestleMania 41. Peace, love, and hugs.